Hello my loves, welcome back to Burning Times Tarot. I'm Jenny. Let's see, there's so much to get through, I don't even know where to start. So, last night we had the dark moon in Aquarius, and you know, I could have shot this then, but I received a very strong message that I'm not to record or really do much on the dark moon. At least publicly, because that really is the time to go in and reflect, which is, you know, what I always tell other people to do. And so I just was called to really hold that as like a sacred space for myself, and so that's what I did. Now we had Venus stationed direct on the 29th, and Mercury is going to station direct on the 3rd, so at that point, all the planets will be direct, which is massive, and then we have Venus and Mercury. Venus and Mercury, I think, are going to conjunct Pluto. They're going to be conjunct Pluto in Capricorn soon. More on that later. So we had, today is the 1st when I'm recording it, so happy Year of the Water Tiger. And tomorrow we have Imbolc, or Bridget's Day, which is very special to me. For those of you who don't know, I lived in Ireland for 12.5 years. I've actually been getting a lot of messages from Bridget lately, and yeah, it means a lot, because a lot of my time that I was in Ireland, I felt very disconnected from myself and my spirituality, sadly, and so it's really nice to know that, you know, I was gonna say, even when I couldn't feel her, she was there beside me. So, what else have we got? Oh yeah, messages-wise. So, I actually had to write them down because there's been so many, but the last couple of days I've been getting a lot of dolphin messages, so that might resonate for some of you. And then, okay. Dolphins. I think the day before yesterday, I had a crow like swoop down in front of me, like right in front of me, and that happened twice within like an hour, in like 2 completely different locations. So, you know, crows are very much like, you know, and it was just before the dark moon, so crows are very much like that link between like this world and the next, and is very, you know, and yesterday I pulled the death card, and that is transformation, so very big themes around that. And then eagles, been seeing a lot of pairs of eagles, like never 1 or 3 or more, it's just like 2 flying together in the sky, which is felt very significant. And then peacocks and roses has been another kind of ongoing one. And dragonflies and bees. And then, oh, lightning. I've been seeing a lot of lightning imagery, which is very like tower card energy, and I definitely feel like there's some energy in the collective where, you know, and again, like with the death card, I feel like some people are really going through some big inner change, and maybe it's their outer world, but I'm really getting the sense that a lot of it is more like internal. A lot of big changes, and so for those of you who 2021 in particular was full of tower moments for me, and like a lot of tarot readers have actually, you know, my journey with the tower card is like I went from kind of dreading it, because there are no bad cards in tarot. I know we use those terms a lot, but there aren't any bad cards, right? They're just energies. But I just wanted to remind anyone that is going through some kind of tower moment, or who is about to go through some kind of tower moment. I always tell people the card that comes after the tower is the star, right? It's healing. It's clarity. Because the tower only, the lightning and the fire that comes along with that, it only takes away what was built on a shaky foundation, right? That's what the tower is about. It cannot destroy anything that is actually solid. So what it is it's the universe coming in to literally, you know, sweep things out of your life that are no longer serving you that no longer align with you, and that were built on a rocky foundation. So it's just a little reminder for you, because, you know, they can be quite scary and lonely and difficult, but there is happiness on the other side of it. So I hope for any of you that are experiencing that, that brings you some bit of comfort. Let's see, oh, there's too many numbers, but again, 4444, 1108, 505, 909, 88, 911, 330. Yeah, those have all been coming up a lot. Okay, and last one, Garden of Eden. That imagery keeps coming up a lot as well, and you know, and then as a tarot reader, it makes me think of the Ace of Pentacles and Lovers, because both of those cards show the Garden of Eden in them, at least in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I'm not gonna, no, I'm not going to. So yeah, that's what we've got at the moment, and then I am going to, sorry, I'm trying to time myself. It's very distracting. So yeah, I've been doing more reels on Instagram, so I'm going to continue doing those with like card of the day. I still have to post my pick a card for this week. So if you do want to follow me over there, please do, but I really would. You know, I'd kind of like to keep YouTube for maybe more long form stuff and post like the shorter stuff on Instagram. I mean, I will post it to YouTube as well, but I guess I would like to, yeah, conserve YouTube as, because the Spirit doesn't like being on a timer, and neither do I. So it's nice to be able to be a little bit more open with that. That was the other one. I keep seeing Pisces fish, and I keep seeing the number 69 and 96, but almost always 69 more often. So, you know, some of you might be having some tower moments, and some of you are having some fun, and I'm very happy for you, but also kind of jealous. But yeah, that one's been coming up a lot. And we're going into Pisces season, you know, at the end of February as well. So that might be significant for some of you. So what are we doing today? So I'm gonna do a Valentine's Day video. This one is more just the energies heading into February. Tomorrow is 2/2/22, so it's gonna be, you know, it's a portal day, it's a significant day. So why don't we just start with our sort of basic energies heading into February, shall we? Source. Please God, message. Brian types tarot. So yeah, there's been a lot of songs as well. It's so hard to keep track, but on my Instagram reels, when I post the card of the day, I usually will have a channeled song along with it. So we have Judgment, Four of Pentacles. Let's get two more of those. Oh, there's two. I love doing that. Yeah. So, alright, Four of Pentacles followed by Four of Swords, followed by the Queen of Swords. So, fours abound, still, clearly. And then the pick a card today, you know, when I cut the deck, it was 4 and 8, 8 and 4, and then 6 and 3. So, it's definitely a lot of numbery stuff happening. Okay, so, give me 1 second here. Let me get my bearings. Okay, so, starting with Judgment, and this is Archangel Gabriel, if archangels are significant to you on the card. You know, I had a lot of resistance to the whole archangel thing because it was a little too affiliated with the church for my personal taste, no offense, but they're a thing. Who knew? But they're a thing. That's so judgment. Yeah, I think some of you, you're really like reevaluating some things in your life and maybe getting like a fresh perspective on maybe some blind spots that you have had in terms of like the way that you perceive things or process things or react to things. You know, I'm hearing shadow work, so a lot of you may have been really doing, maybe you're doing that right now, and that's what the Tower moment is for you, or maybe it's something that you're just coming out of. But I'm really hearing like shadow work and just a really renewed perspective. And maybe for some of you, you have been really judgmental in the past and maybe didn't even realize it, and we're sort of cutting yourself off from people, you know, because we do a lot of things out of self-preservation, you know? I mean, we're all trying to oftentimes like protect our hearts, right? Protect ourselves. And a lot of times the unknown can feel very dangerous, and so it's very easy sometimes to just like cut it off and just be like, well, this isn't familiar to me, so I'm not gonna engage with that, because, you know, if something is unknown and it's unquantifiable, then like it's unpredictable, and unpredictability is dangerous, right? But yeah, I'm really hearing like a lot of you are reevaluating, and you know, with Gabriel here, it's really telling me like, as scary as this is, whatever it is that you're being shown it for your highest good. And even if it's unpleasant, you know, people assume that if you are like connected to source or to spirit, that, you know, it means that it's all like sunshine and rainbows and crystals and all that. It's like, it's not. Sometimes spirit tells you things you don't want to hear, and you realize that you have to do things that you maybe don't want to do, and yet if that's what you're being called to, like, that's, you know, as someone who has gotten those messages before and then literally spent years not listening to them and doubting them because I was doubting myself, you know, and then moving towards someone who actually just acts on them, even though it's still difficult and it's still fucking scary, but who has stopped questioning, or at least, not that I don't question myself, of course I do, but a lot less, I'll just say that, a lot less. And so I feel like that's the kind of energy that maybe some of you are moving into with this Judgment card. And yet, with the Four of Pentacles, I feel like there's still this resistance. It's like, yeah, I'm hearing some of you really, okay, this is too distracting. I'm gonna reset this. There we go. Okay, so with the Four of Pentacles, I'm hearing that, you know, some of this is new to you, and maybe you're not used to getting messages from spirit like this, because I mean, Gabriel's pretty fucking loud and clear with the trumpet there, right? It's kind of unavoidable, and he's not having it. This person, they're not really having it. They're like, no, I'm good. I've got my pentacles. I'm here on the earth. See? Feet on the pentacles, feet on the ground. I'm all set. I don't really need to hear from spirit. I've got, you know, I've got my coins, and that's that. And spirit's like, no, like, sorry, no, it doesn't work that way. So some of you, I feel like, yeah, you're kind of still doubting or questioning, or just really maybe trying to cling to what is familiar, because it brings that sense of comfort, because it's like, you know, when you have those moments, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know who I am, I don't know what I'm supposed to be now that I have like this new outlook on things. Like, what do I do with that? How does that fit into the world that I've already made for myself? And sometimes it doesn't, you know? And then we had that followed by the Four of Swords. And so a lot of you are breaking through this, and if you haven't, you are about to, because to me the Four of Swords is really like, it's a sense of clarity, but it's also rest, right? Because that shit is exhausting. Like, having constant see, having those constant realizations and constantly like, you know, reevaluating things or reanalyzing things, like, it's exhausting, you know? And that's on top of like just trying to get through your normal day to day. And so to me this is saying like, if you haven't had it yet, like, that's the thing, is true clarity, no matter how scary it is, you know, like I said, you're gonna hear shit you don't necessarily want to hear, but no matter how scary it is, and no matter how scary the surrounding circumstances might seem, the actual message, like, inside should feel calm. Because when you hear that truth, when you finally like tap into that truth, whatever it is for you, that feels incredibly calm. No matter what other factors are going on around it that feel terrifying, right? And that's how you know. And so this is really telling me like, you're gonna have that moment, you know, take that time to rest, take that time to you know, go within, get grounded, like I always say, but really take that time to get in touch so that you can have that certainty and really, so that you can move forward with like a much, yeah, like a clearer vision and just much more decisive and much more sure of yourself and sure of your instincts, right? Because once you have that, then you know, I mean, like, we can all get knocked out of this, right? Like, we're all human, but you at least have like that inner knowing that whatever happens, whatever comes up, whatever you're faced with, you can rise to meet it. And that's what you're heading towards, because then we have the Queen of Swords. So, you know, it's interesting that we're going, it's like, yeah, major arcana, but like this very air kind of energy. What is the Judgment card astrologically? I'm gonna hold on a second. I feel like that's important. Yeah, it wouldn't tell me a specific sign, but it said that Judgment is ruled by Pluto and Mars. I saw it in 2 different places, and the only sign, as far as I know, that is ruled by Mars and Pluto is Scorpio, because it was ruled by Mars traditionally until Pluto was discovered. And so, and yet I don't think it's considered water, I think it's fire. But again, it's that sense of a rebirth, right? That sense of transformation. So it makes, which makes perfect sense, and given what I was just saying about having drawn the Death card and the Tower energy, and so this really is that sense of, you know, Judgment is also renewal, because after Judgment we have the World, which is like that closing of a cycle and the opening of a new chapter. And so then after the Four of Swords we have the Queen of Swords. And so to me this is like, you know, you've taken that rest, and the Queen of Swords is like where, when you have really integrated all of this information and you stopped fighting it and you're just ready to like live in it, that's when you have the Queen of Swords energy, because the Queen sits in their truth, and as I've said previously, they have one hand outstretched and the other holds the sword. So it's firm boundaries, and some of this might be that you're realizing like places in your life where you didn't have proper boundaries set, or where, yeah, you were like giving too much of yourself and your energy away, either to other people or to situations, or just things that really didn't merit it, or that just something within yourself maybe that, you know, left you feeling drained rather than supported or replenished. And so, yeah, I'm just hearing for a lot of you, it might really be about that reevaluation of like, where have I'm hearing like, where have I had too many boundaries and where have I not had enough boundaries, right? And this is that balance between the two. So I'm going to clarify. Source, can you please clarify the judgment? Can you please clarify so we have the Six of Pentacles clarifying judgment, and the King of Wands clarifying the Four of Pentacles. Can you please clarify the Four of Swords? We're not doing reversals right now. Well, what do you know? So clarifying the Four of Swords, we have the Hangman, yet another card of new perspective and transformation. And clarifying the Queen of Swords, we have the King of Swords. I love this. I fucking love this. Okay, so to start, Six of Pentacles, clarifying judgment. So again, just what I was saying, balance. It's balance, right? Six of Pentacles is reciprocity, right? We have the scales here. So this really is, again, like, what have I been putting too much time into? What have I not put enough time into? What have I been, you know, pouring all of this like effort and energy into, whether that's, you know, material, emotional, financial, whatever it is. You know, again, it's a general reading, so take it as it resonates, but what have I been like pouring myself into, and maybe, you know, starting to question like, well, am I actually getting back? Not even what I put in, because not everything has to be like 50-50 all the time, but just, you know, am I happy with what I'm getting back? Am I, you know, I'm so busy, I'm getting this energy of like, yeah, I'm so busy tending to other people's needs, because that is how I, you know, that is, I'm not saying I mean, I understand this energy, but I'm not saying I personally, but just, I'm seeing someone who is, yeah, it's like, I put all of this effort into meeting other people's needs because that's how I feel secure and that's how I feel loved, is when I'm needed, and I know that like the people around me are happy, right? Especially if you, you know, are empathic, if you identify as that, or maybe you don't, but you know, you might have those qualities even if you maybe aren't fully aware of it. And this is really like, you know, yeah, I'm hearing I've been so busy making sure that other people's needs are being met that I haven't even stopped to wonder if my needs are being met. And again, I can relate, and that can be a very easy trap to fall into, especially when you're not used to, you know, you're so used to being concerned with the people around you that you don't even know what it feels like to have all of your needs met, because you, A, aren't used to it, and B, have never learned how to ask, right? And that is the really crucial part of it, is learning how to ask, learning how to state what it is that you want and or need, right? And so self-love is really like the main root of this. And so then clarifying the Four of Pentacles, we have the King of Wands. You know how much I love King and Queen of Wands energy, right? Like, this is, I always say it's big dick energy, big clit energy, whatever. When I talk about kings and queens, masculine and feminine, again, I'm not talking about gender expression or any of that. This is energies, so it doesn't matter, you know, how you present or what you were born as or any of that. Like, this is an energy, and it's an energy that anyone can embody at any point in time. It's ones that we all have inside of us to, you know, various degrees depending on the person. And so with this, it's really like, okay, we're moving from this pentacle energy, which is like, you know, it's that dense earth energy, which can be beautiful, but this wand energy is really, you know, it's fire, it's passion, it's drive. And so to me, this is really like, this is what happens when you stop holding on so tight, right? Because as I've said in the past, in the Four of Pentacles, they've got a crown on, right? They're not a king per se, but they have a crown. Like, they're doing well. And yet, they're holding on so tight that when you get to the next card, which is the Five of Pentacles, it's all gone. They're out in the cold, and they've lost everything. Now, followed by the Six, where they start to regain it, but this person's just wearing the crown. This is the actual king, right? This king is, yes, passionate, yes, fiery, yes, driven, but in a, I'm trying to think of another word other than controlled, because I don't know if I like that word for this, but in a more balanced way, right? So yes, they're driven by their passions and their ideas, but they're not ruled by them. They're not like victim to them. They use that energy to propel them towards their goals, and to give them that focus. But yeah, it's not out of control. And then the Four of Swords is clarified by the Hanged Man. And so again, like I said, is the Hanged Man Aquarius as well, or is it Pisces? Why am I... You know, so again, Pisces is water energy, it's intuition. Neptune is intuition and dreams. So some of you might, you know, some of this new perspective that you've been getting may have been coming to you in dreams. And you know, the Hangman is, I was going to say like a double-edged sword, so to speak. But on the one hand, this person has hung themselves upside down and they have the halo around their head because they are seeing things differently. They're seeing things more clearly because they've had the courage to do something different and unexpected and really take that, like, you know, that leap, I guess, and really doing something that, you know, probably looks crazy to the people around them, and yet that is what has given them this insight, right? But it can also connote a sense that, like, okay, they've had the insight and now they're just hanging upside down from a tree, right? And they're just, okay, so they've had it, and now what are they going to do with it, right? And so then that's when we get to the King of Swords. So the fact that we have the Queen and the King together, that really tells me, like, so you are really heading into a real sense of balance. Because now, for some of you, this could have romantic connotations. I will get into that in a second. But I really feel like for the majority of you, these are two energies are in you, right? This is a balancing of these energies. This is integration, right? Just what I was saying about, like, the need to integrate the stuff that you've been learning here. And this is what that is, because you have, like, the masculine and feminine energies both together, right? And so, and the Queen is sort of like, I won't get into all of that, but just, yeah, Queen and King together, really like deeply in touch with spirit and with their intuition. And swords are clarity, right? And there's no cups in the, I mean, we have Hangman, we have Pisces here, and possibly Scorpio. Judgment, no, though I don't think so. But yeah, there's no cups. It's all, this is all very much in the mind. But yeah, King and Queen are our balance, it's clarity, it is thoughtful communication, it's, as I said, boundaries. It's really stepping into your power and using this newfound insight and information in a way that is really like beneficial to you and to your life. Yeah, I like to have them as confirmations, but then it just gets a bit out of hand, so I turn that off. You know, I have been thinking, you know, one of the things I've been really thinking about a lot lately is like that, you know, the balance of masculine and feminine, and what that looks like. And, you know, a wounded feminine can look like someone who is, you know, very possibly anxious, or, you know, someone who is not in control of their emotions, someone who is like overly ruled by their emotions. But we don't really talk about like the wounded masculine enough, because the wounded masculine, okay, I just saw 44 on my timer. The wounded masculine, I'm gonna reset that. The wounded masculine is really about being cut off from your emotions, but really about, as well, at least in my experience, is over, how will I put this? Like overly self-reliant, like overly independent to the point of probably, yeah, like putting yourself at a disadvantage because you're not willing or able to ask for help or accept help from others. And I've definitely been there, and that's something I'm still working on. And a lot of it, you know, often comes down, if you grew up feeling like you couldn't really trust other people or like rely on other people to meet your needs, you know, as I was saying. But also, yeah, just not feeling worthy, you know, not feeling like you're worth other people's time or help, even though you might give of yourself to others, or derive a sense of like value or safety from knowing that you're able to meet other people's needs. But then, like I said, not really knowing how to meet your own, or even ask other people, or expect other people to meet them or acknowledge them. So, okay. Moving on from that. What are we going to do next? I'm going to pull a Moonology card, and I'm going to do like one Ancestors and Oracles card, and we're going to do the Music Oracle, and then that will be it, because I don't even know how many times I reset the timer at this point. Okay, let's see. Okay. Alright, I'm going to get one more. Can you get one more, please? Thank you. Oh, okay, so. Alright, the first one is the one that I pulled in the last video. The end of a tough cycle approaches full moon in Capricorn. So, very interesting. As I said, there's still a lot of Capricorn energy happening because we still have a bunch of the personal planets in Capricorn. They are going to start moving into Aquarius now that Venus, Venus and Mars went direct already. Mercury is going direct on the 3rd. So yeah, once that starts to happen, we're going to be in like full Aquarius energy, but we still have, activity in Capricorn, so there's definitely still a lot of that energy around. And then be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon. So again, just what I was saying, like, don't be afraid to ask for what you want, to state what you want, you know, and not just ask, but if you have, you know, if you are starting to realize like, well, wait a second, you know, this is actually something I want, and if you are unable or unwilling to meet that need, then maybe I need to look elsewhere, you know? And a lot of times it can be a matter of maybe I'm expecting other people to meet a need that I need to meet for myself, right? So it could be one or both or all of the above. So again, take it how it resonates for you, but that's definitely what I'm hearing very loud and clear. So, ancestors and oracles. I feel like there's like so much else I was going to mention, and then I just start to go a bit blank, and then like, yeah, so much, you know, holidays going on with Imbolc. So Imbolc is the halfway point between the winter solstice and the spring equinox, which is lovely to know. So it's Imbolc in the northern hemisphere and Lunasa in the southern hemisphere. And Lunasa is the halfway point between, what is it? Is it the spring equinox and the summer solstice? Or summer solstice and the winter equinox? Oh my god, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I had an alarm, like a smoke alarm. It's one of those, like, even when you take the battery out, it still keeps beeping, and it literally beeped all night, so I'm a little out of it. Oh my god. It's Fire Guardian. You're good. My guides have a sense of humor, if you hadn't noticed. Okay, we're gonna get one more. Okay, so we have Fire Guardian, ignite your passions. And we have Warrior, be fearless and stand strong. So, yeah. I mean, this is definitely King of Wands energy, right? But, you know, in a more celestial, like, peaceful way. But, I mean, the Fire Guardian is... So, again, the second angel we've gotten... a Fire Guardian doesn't necessarily represent a specific angel, but it is just very much about, like, that sense of angelic protection. And so it's really saying, like, yes, ignite your passions. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. Don't be afraid to go after what you want, to get your needs met, like, whatever that means. And obviously not to the detriment or harm of someone else. And yet, I mean, I say detriment or harm, and yet there are times where in order to be true to ourselves, you might have to hurt someone else's feelings, and that's never an easy thing to do. And it's not something to be taken lightly. At the same time, you know, living inauthentically ultimately does no good for you, and it does no good for the other person, even if it seems that way in the moment. I'm hearing that song, that Nas song. Oh, what is it called? A Place... The one with that came out last summer, and Lauryn Hill did the verse on it, which is fucking amazing, and it was just like, holy shit, she's back. She's back. If you haven't, I'll put a... Is it Nobody? A Place? Anyways, I'll put a link in the description box, but her verse is just so fucking amazing. But, what's the line? She says, what is it? If you hang on, if you keep... if you keep what you know is meant for someone else, the ditch you dig in, you might just end up in yourself. That's the line that I'm hearing really loud right now. And it's true. And then warrior, be fearless and stand strong. And so again, it's, you know, when you get that call from spirit, sometimes it's a very difficult one to answer, and you know, as clear and serene as it may feel in itself, all of the stuff around it might feel very chaotic and frightening, and yet, you know, the other side of that is where you find your peace, even amidst the chaos. And yeah, and a lot of, you know, both cards, a lot of feathers, so again, like, that air energy, that bird magic is very, very strong. So, okay, let us do the music oracle. Source, can I please get 2 songs for Valentine's Tarot? So only for 2-2. Okay. I still haven't found a bag. It has to be a worthy bag, you know? It's 2 stuck together. God damn it. Alright, I have to take this one because it's just... Yeah, fucking hell. Okay, because both of these are Queen of Wands energy, and even though she wasn't in this reading, King of Wands was here. I've got... Alright, I still have to do... I still have to figure out my fucking Spotify because I have playlists, like, ready to go, and one of the biggest playlists is basically, like, Queen of Wands. I should just call it Ruler of Wands because it's King and Queen energy, but... Okay, so the first song is Creator by SANTIGOLD. So, yeah, total fucking Wands energy. Like, yeah, I'm the creator. You can't do what I do. Like, you know, love it or leave it kind of energy. But it's very much that, like, you know, being in your power, having that vision and having that courage to really just... Again, like, just stand in your power, be who you are, do what you want to do, and live the kind of life that you want, and not apologize for it. And then we have She Keeps Passing Me By the PHARCYDE. So... Yeah, I mean, with the Judgment card, this could be like reevaluating past situations. Yeah, just having a different perspective on things from the past, particularly relationships, and you know, maybe you thought someone was passing you by and maybe you were being protected from that, even though it may not have felt that way at the time. And yet, on the other hand, maybe for some of you, it's like you thought someone was passing you by and really they were right there and you didn't see it. So, yeah. Then we have K's Here by LAJUAN. I fucking love this song. And this is total Queen of Wands energy. And it's definitely snake energy. It's very much that, like, no matter how many times you knock me down, I'm going to keep getting up. And no matter how many times it looks like, you know, no matter how many ego deaths I have to go through or challenges I have to face, I'm going to keep fighting. It's warrior energy, right? Just pulled the warrior card, the fire guardian card. Creator in case here is like, that's fucking fire energy, that's boss bitch energy, like, so yeah, I love it. I love it. And with yeah, when she keeps passing me by, it's like I'm hearing that for some of you, it's like, yes, this thing passed you by, but like something better is going to take its place. And then for others of you, I'm hearing like, yeah, it seemed like it was passing you by at the time, but something that you thought was gone is going to reappear. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it resonated with you. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can email me at burningtimestarot@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Instagram. I'm not even going to say to DM me on Facebook because Messenger on there has been very unreliable. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I post weekly pick-a-cards. I'm doing some daily cards now and channeled songs, amongst other stuff that I have plans for. And yeah, I hope that this resonated with you. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did. Hit the bell notification so you know when I've posted new videos. And I always start to trip up when I have to promote myself because it's something I'm still learning how to do. But the main thing that I want to say is that I hope this resonated with you. I hope it brought you some peace or some clarity. And your light is yours and yours alone. So shine it out.